This is the Eberlestock X1 Euro. It's a day pack or a overnight pack. You might squeeze it up 2 or 3 days. And what I've done today is I'm giving you a review from a long-term ownership perspective. It's a great pack. It's very tough, very durable. In fact, after several years of owning it, apart from a little bit of dirt here and there, there's virtually no wear on it. It's been remarkable in terms of its longevity. It has a 2-compartment system with a tray in the middle, which allows you to move the tray so you can make it into 1 compartment. You can zip from the top, you can zip from the bottom, and there are multiple pockets around. We'll work around that from the top down. So starting at the top, this one I've bought a buttstock, or a butt bucket for it, which just goes over the top of the stock to give the stock some protection if you've got an expensive rifle or a client has got an expensive rifle. It has a little a keeper here, which can be used for either holding something on the top of the pack. Really good for if you've got a spotting scope. Spotting scope can go down into the hole here where the rifle would normally sit, but if you're not carrying a rifle, just carrying a spotting scope and tripod, perfect under there, and this will clip over the top to hold it in place. That's actually a really useful feature, and I've used that with my camera as well. This here has a padded strap which you can unclip, and it also fits these keepers, so you can clip that on and then adjust it up or down with the buckles, like so, and then that will just sit over the top and help to hold, help to stop it from falling off or getting lost in the bush or something. Good feature. It's a brushed tricot, which is silent in the bush, doesn't make a lot of scratchy noise, and it's not too bad at absorbing water. Some of the earlier Eberlestock packs that I owned had a tendency to fill up with water when you get into torrential rain. That was a bit less than ideal. This stuff's not too bad, it doesn't absorb as nearly as much water, and it's relatively waterproof. Obviously if you fall into a river, it's going to get water into the pack, but as you'll see later, most of my stuff is actually in separate bags anyway, separate waterproof bags. Right, so if we start from the start, I'll show you where I've put my bits and bobs. The front here has a small pocket with a retaining strap that you can make sure you don't lose your keys. In here we've just got a small Fisker's saw, and there's still plenty of room in there for anything else. There's another pocket here. It's got a torch and a bipod. I haven't actually got anything in here, but normally I'd have my hat and gloves and a sun hat in here. Everywhere as well, there's webbing for tying bits and pieces on. For example, if you have to tie a head on, you can use some straps. I've got some additional straps for it, which I use in my other pack now, but they will just go through and clip onto the webbing that's on the side of the pack. You tie it over and just clip it together, so you can clip heads or meat or any other additional equipment on the front that you'd wish. There's a strap across the front here, and again this can be adjusted up in size, so if you want to put something through here, tie it down. Also ideal, probably you could use that for a bow perhaps, I suppose, although there isn't a bow bucket in the bottom for holding it, but you could certainly do that with that. The next compartment is what I tend to use for my sleeping bag, and in here I've got my gun cleaning ball snake, 3-season sleeping bag, well compressed, and my survival kit, wash kit, communications equipment, batteries, you name it, that's everything in there. In the main compartment now, if we take the tent out, so that's a one-person tent. Main compartment, open up this way perhaps you can see it. In here I've got my wet weather gear, so I've got a wet weather jacket, and I've got a pair of DPM waterproof over trousers and a compressed jacket. It's like a synthetic insulation jacket. In here there's a couple of keepers for a couple of hydration bladders. I think they go most of the length of the pack. Yeah, but almost always. Certainly the size of a full-size bladder in here. And you can see here we've got the parcel shelf, so you can actually just unvelcro like this and you gain access to the whole pack then. You can actually fit a little bit more in the pack if you do that, because you've got a little bit less dead space. So that just does back up like that. There's a place for poking your hydration bladder through, and again more webbing on the top surface here. It's actually double layered, so there's a tricot on the outside, I think. Yes, so there's a nylon on the inside, and then there's the tricot on the outside, so that's separate, so it's a double layer system. So even if you wear through or on the outside, it's always still got the internal, so things don't start falling out of your pack. That's a good feature. Now, there's a sleeping mat. On the back side here, this is a good feature. This is probably really designed for a spotting scope, so you could put a spotting scope inside here. It's well padded, there's the hard back on it, so but I tend to use this for the food. So just carry my I've got two backcountry meals in there, some tea, a couple of noodles, some bits of chocolate and so forth, and a cooker and gas inside there. And this is a large empty space in here that you can put a lot in here, but perfectly designed for a spotting scope. So again, if you're going out for a day hunt, spotting a scope inside there, rifle inside the scabbard, very nice. Now when the pack's a bit smaller like this, you can use these straps to compress it down. So this strap here is quite cleverly designed. When it's full, you've got some compressions on the side here for holding things in, but when it's like this, you pop it through the side handle, and the side handle allows you to pull the whole pack down on itself, which I think that's an extremely good design feature. So you're getting a bit more, so that's compressed down. The same with this one, under the strap, compress it down, and helping to keep everything a bit smaller. And then you've also got this strap here which you can pull the pack right in on itself. Zoom up the zips. One of the other things I like about the Eberlestocks is the pulls. These are great, little plastic, rubberized, seemingly indestructible wee pulls. It's a lot easier on the YKK zippers than you might have if you were just pulling on a metal tab, which has a tendency to break off. Right, now the last thing is the harness. So the harness is very wide, it's well padded, a nice air space in your back through here. This is a very comfortable harness, better than some of the other ones that I've got actually, because you don't get sweaty in this section through here because this is indented. Typical Eberlestock, I noticed it's been copied by a lot of the manufacturers now. You can move this up and down to give you a height differential, so if you've got a longer or a shorter back, you're covered with that. There are plastic keepers here for putting on a bino harness. I think Eberlestock make a specific one that will probably clip into this. You've got keepers down through here for putting your hydration bladder hose on both sides. You've also got a sternum strap, of course, which is massively expandable. You'd have to be a big boy not to be able to fit that. And then you've got your waist strap here, your waist belt, which has webbing all over it, again to allow for additional molly type bags or small pouches to go on here. Enormous amount of room here with the straps. It's got even more out of it, so if that's not going to go around your waist, my goodness, you've got plenty of adjustment there. Another nice feature is when if you don't want like your straps flapping around in the breeze, because especially if you're bow hunting or something, you don't want any additional movement, you can pop these through here, and then they actually pop underneath a little pocket in here. You just sort of squeeze that through there, and they'll just sit neatly, so you don't have a flapping strap. Same on this side. There's a retainer, and through here. These retainers, of course, are also useful for clipping things too, and then the molly just completes that. In the base, we've got a scabbard which comes out, and the scabbard allows you to place a full-sized rifle in, barrel down. Depends which way you like it, if you like it over your right shoulder or your left shoulder. I tend to put the rifle in this way, and we're right down the base here. I tend to put it in like that, for the reason being that that's centered up the back of your neck, so when you're walking through bush, your head's here, and you're likely to move to side to avoid things so that the rifle doesn't get caught up. The other things that you can do with this strap, when you don't have a bucket in, is you can just put that through here, and you can retain the rifle like so. Now, never bothered to do that myself. I've never had one of these. You'd have to turn upside down for this to fall out, so don't really see a problem with that. And this is how the bucket fits over it. So it's probably quite a good feature to protect those rifles with like a nice mahogany stock or something. You can tuck the bucket over the scope, and then there's also a bit of a bonus if you've got a 50 caliber or something similar. You can pull the whole lot over. So this allows you to got a rubberized stock on this thing, so it's gripping the plastic. There we go. Right, so now you can pull the rifle out a little bit. Pull the rifle out. cover the scope as well. So that whole area is now well covered. And it kind of just protects the rifle. So if it was pouring down with rain, or you had a particularly, if it was really dusty, probably if it was blowing a lot of dust, you didn't want to get that into your optics, and I tend to do that. And then again, you can still clip that in to retain it. So that's a really nice feature of these rifle packs. I quite like that. Yep. So now you've also got a ability to have what amounts to, if you don't want to have carry a rifle scabbard, this pack will also act as a rifle scabbard. So just pull everything down, clip your big handle here, clip the waist belt through the handle to make that go flat. Put that in there, and then tighten that down. That's nice and flat now. And if you had to wanted something, just throw the rifle into the back of the ute. That's a utility for any American viewers. You've now got basically a rifle scabbard, and protects the rifle quite nicely. This is padded down the base here, and the base has also got a hole in it for draining water in there, and this is also super tough, with a sort of rubberized, extra tough fabric in the base. So that's the Eberlestock X1 Euro. It's a fantastic wee pack. As you can see, you'll carry most things that you need for an overnight. It has carried an enormous amount of meat on it, and none of the stitching has ever given up. It's in fantastic condition. This is by far, I think, the best average camouflage for New Zealand conditions in terms of the disruptive pattern. It's amazing in the high country, especially in the high country, because it just disappears into the rocks. If you're a tar hunter, this is the ultimate day pack / overnight pack for hunting tar. Right, well, thanks for that. I hope you enjoyed the review, and feel free to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Thanks guys, happy hunting.